everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time I'm gonna be doing my fill. I believe it's been about 2 or 3 weeks since I last did this set, so it's definitely time for a fill and for my Thanksgiving design. So as always, the first thing that I'm gonna do is just go in with my e-file. This is the MELODYSUSIE e-file. I do have a promo code for them, so I'll be sure to leave that down below. And then to remove the gel polish and to file down the acrylic, I'm going to be using the extra coarse safety drill bit. I do have these on my Amazon storefront, so I'll be sure to leave the link down below. And as always, if I forget to mention any of the products that I'm using throughout the video, just be sure to leave me a comment and I'll be more than glad to leave you the link. So during this step, I'm going to be using my e-file at about 11,000 RPMs. And for this step, I'm just going to go in and remove the gel polish. So as always, I just start around the cuticle area and just following the entire nail until all of the gel polish is fully removed. And then also during this step, if you have any lifting, be sure to remove it with the same drill bit. You don't want to go in there with a pair of nippers, because you're going to be making the lifting a lot worse. Now, the reason why I have lifting on this hand only is because I wasn't, whenever I first did this set, I wasn't going to leave the nails on. I was just doing it to practice or to do a video, but I ended up liking the nails, so I just left them. But I had already done like cuticle oil on my nail bed, so I knew that they were going to lift a little bit. So what I do is just go in with the same drill bit, and I just file right around that cuticle area to remove that lifting. As you can see, it's coming right off. And again, during this step, I am using the e-file at 11,000 RPMs, but just adjust the speed to whatever speed you feel comfortable using it at. Alrighty, so just like that, so all of the lifting is completely gone. Now same thing for the rest. So again, going around the cuticle area first, getting rid of any lifting. Now if the lifting is really bad to where it's literally lifting all the way towards the tip, I always recommend just going ahead and removing the nail and just replacing it, because if the lifting is that bad, most likely it's going to continue to lift, and you don't want any water, any moisture to get trapped underneath the nail, because it will cause a greening. Alrighty, so just like that, so I removed all of the gel polish, and then I also got rid of all of the lifting that I had. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this other hand. I don't have any lifting on this hand at all, so I'm just going to focus on getting rid of the gel polish. So same thing, I actually sped my drill up to 15,000 RPMs. But as I mentioned earlier, just adjust it to whatever speed you feel comfortable using it at. And then as always, just making sure that as you're using your e-file, you want to make sure that you always keep it moving at all times. You don't want to stay in one spot for too long, because it will cause friction and it's going to cause your nails to burn. This is what my nails look like after I've removed all of the gel polish and then of course, filing down some of the acrylic. So next I'm going to go in with a cuticle pusher. As always, you can use any type of cuticle pusher, whether it's metal, wood, or plastic, as long as it can be disinfected or disposed of. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and push back my cuticles. And whenever you're doing this step, don't think about it too much. Like, you're literally just going in and pushing back those cuticles. Like, I've literally seen people sit there and keep pushing, when literally all you have to do is just push it right back. And this is just going to expose the new growth, and it's going to help with reducing lifting. So after I finish pushing back the cuticles, I'm going to go in with my 180 sanding band. I do have these available on my website, so I'll be sure to add those to the description. And during this step, I'm going to be using my e-file at 6,000 RPMs. And as always, just following around the cuticle area, going from the right side all the way over to the left side, just going back and forth until you fully remove the shine. Remember that you want to make sure that you don't file down on the natural nail too hard because you don't want to damage it. So literally just filing enough to where you just get rid of that shiny layer. Same thing on all of them. So again, just filing from the right side and then just work your way all the way around that cuticle. On the other hand, and also just a reminder, I am right-handed, and during the entire time that I'm using my e-file, I always use it on forward. I know I always get that question asked a lot, but again, I use my e-file on forward at all times, whether I'm working on myself or my clients. So after I've prepped the nails, I'm going to go in with my acrylic system, and as always, I am using the Jcbeautyconcepts Cover Pink Acrylic. I'm also using the Jcbeautyconcepts Acrylic Monomer, and I'm also using the Jcbeautyconcepts Extra Bonder, and I'm using the Jcbeautyconcepts Odor Reducer, which just helps with getting rid of some of that smell. And this one actually is the cherry and almond smell, so it smells really good, and all you have to do is just add two to three drops in your monomer. Alrighty, so I have my monomer in my dampened dish, so as I mentioned, I just add 2 to 3 drops in my monomer, and it just helps with reducing that monomer odor. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to go in and apply the primer, and as always, I'm only applying this to the natural nail. Alrighty, and then for my acrylic brush, I am using the number 12 oval brush by Alpha Brush. I'll be sure to leave the link down below as well. I'm going to go in, and of course, during a fill, we're just focusing on filling in the back of the nail. As you guys can see, we already have a good thickness at the tip, and then we also have a nice thickness, you know, throughout the nail. So we just want to make sure that we fill in the back and still make sure that we have a good structure to where our nails are nice and thick, and we don't have really flat nails to where they would break off super easily. So just going in with a medium-sized bead, placing it closer to the cuticle area, very gently patting it down, and then very gently brushing it down. And then of course cleaning around the cuticle area. And you want to make sure that if any product gets on the skin, you want to brush it off immediately, because once it dries, it's going to be really hard to remove, and most likely you will get lifting. Alrighty, so I'm going to go in with a second bead, same thing, placing it closer to the cuticle area. This one was a little bit smaller than the first one. Just patting it, and then when I'm patting, I'm kind of pushing it as close as I can to the cuticle area, but not on the actual skin. And then remember, you want to be super gentle when you're brushing the product down. You don't want to brush it off the nail. And cleaning around the cuticle. Alrighty, so just like that, we have a nice thickness at the tip. We have a nice apex, and everything is nice and smooth. The next one I'm going to place closer to the cuticle area. Alrighty, so the apex area looks nice and even. However, I do feel like the tip is a little bit thin, so I'm just going to go in with a small bead closer to the tip, patting it down and very gently brushing it down towards the tip. Alrighty, so just like that, again, we have a nice apex, we have a nice thickness at the tip. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same steps on the rest of the nails. So remember, you go in with a medium-sized bead, place it down, pat it down. Whenever you pat down, you want to make sure that you don't pat too hard because it's going to make the acrylic just spread out and it's going to get on your skin. So just pat it very gently. Once it's nice and even, start brushing down towards the tip and be super gentle because you still want most of the product to stay in this area, which is what we're filling in, but you just want to blend it in with the rest of the nail. So I'm going to show you one more time. So same thing, getting a medium-sized bead, placing it closer to the cuticle area, very gently patting it down, and then gently brushing down towards the tip. And when I say gentle, y'all, like it's literally like almost just a feathering motion. And then remember, if it gets on the skin, wipe it off immediately. Just like that. I still need to go in and add another one. So remember, make sure that you're looking at it from different angles. That way you know where you need to add more product. But our goal is just to have a nice apex and then a good thickness at the tip. That way we don't get any breakage or lifting. Alrighty, so just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and do the other two nails. So just like that, so I finished applying the acrylic on this entire hand. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other hand. So it's literally the exact same process, except for a lot of the time when I'm doing my right hand with my left hand, I like to go in and just pick up my acrylic with my right hand, and then I just switch my brush over to my left hand. I feel like that's just a lot easier for me, but it's always just whatever works for you is completely fine. But same thing, just placing that first bead, patting it down, and very gently brushing it down towards the tip. Alrighty, so I finished applying the acrylic, and this is what the nails look like. So nice and even. We have a nice apex on all of the nails. We also have a good thickness at the tip. And so whenever I go in to file the nails, I'm just going to have to focus on filing around the cuticle area really good. That way we don't get any lifting at all. So next I'm going to go in with my 8080 hand file. I do have these available on my website. And so of course they're already that coffin shape that I like. So we're just going to go in and redefine that shape. So just going in at a 90-degree angle and just following the sides, going straight towards the free edge. And I really won't have to do too much following, literally just going in to redefine that shape. Following the free edge, also making sure that I file at exactly a 90-degree angle. Alrighty, so same thing on all of them. Again, going in on the sides at a 90-degree angle. You want to make sure that when you're filing the entire nail. You don't want to just have your file on the tip, because you're going to file off those corners and it's going to make the nail rounded. So again, going from the sidewall towards the free edge, making sure that the file is touching the entire nail at all times. That way the whole side is even. Going in on the other side, same thing, filing at exactly a 90-degree angle, and then following the free edge. So after I finish shaping up all of my nails, I'm going to go in with my extra fine drill bit. I also have this one in my Amazon storefront, so I'll be sure to leave that link down below. And during this step, I'm going to be using my e-file at 7,000 RPMs. And as always, during this step, we're going to focus on just filing around the cuticle area, mainly to seal the cuticle area. And then since my nails are already pretty nice and smooth, you know, I'm still going to go in and file them to make sure they're all nice and even. But if you have a lot of bumps and lumps and your nails are pretty thick, all you can do to get rid of them is just go in and do more filing with your e-file. So just going around the cuticle area, going from the right side all the way over to the left side, going back and forth. And as always, whenever you are using your e-file, you want to make sure that you keep your drill moving at all times, because if not, if you leave it in one spot for too long, it's going to cause friction and it's going to cause your nail to burn. Same thing for all of them. So going around that cuticle area. So after I finish filing all of the nails, I'm going to go in with my buffer. And this is just going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nails from the hand file or the e-file. So you want to make sure that you never skip this step, because if not, you will be able to see those scratches through your polish. Alrighty, y'all, so I washed my hands and I decided that instead of doing gel polish, I'm just going to go in with some stones. So I'm going to be using my orange ones. I have my AB SS20, SS12, SS6, and then I have some other shaped ones as well. So I actually forgot my two-layer nail adhesive, so I'm just going to be using my KDS glue. Hopefully they stay on really well. And then of course I'm going to be using my wax pencil. I do have this one available on my website. It is a lot bigger, but I've been using this one for a while. So I think I just want to do a big design on the ring finger and the index finger, and then maybe do somewhere in the cuticle area on the other three. Alrighty, so after I finish applying the bling, I'm gonna go in with this top coat. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. As you guys can see, they turned out super, super pretty. I am absolutely in love. That colored acrylic is super pretty, and then the stones and everything just looks so good. So, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at GetNail32, and I will see you guys next time.